Good morning, everybody. It is the 11th of July 2020 and we're doing a vlog. We've not done one of these in years. I thought with Club 100 coming back post lockdown and everything that I'd try out doing these again, mainly because I'm racing individually for the first time in 3 years. Obviously the Endurance Championship has been cancelled, kind of can't do pit stops while still being socially distanced, so today is the first round of the new E60 Championship run by Club 100, which is pretty much a lot of the endurance boys but racing individually for 1 hour straight. First round's at Shenington, a circuit that I absolutely love, not just because it's less than 10 miles from the house, but it's a great circuit as well. So let's head on up there and see how we can do today. I've no idea how we're going to do today. I think it's going to be a pretty strong field out there, so let's get on it and head up there. Up, the cart's ready, GoPro's on, LED's on. Yeah, it's getting back into the swing of things of being an individual driver, I'd say, for the first time in 3 years. Just going on a quick track walk. It's not often a circuit we come to this, and because there's no real any corporate karting that gets done here, it's pretty much only Club 100. There's a reason I come here for racing. Obviously we've been here for commentary many times, so just having a quick track walk. Obviously we'll be on the first hairpin today, so just walking down towards the first hairpin now. Weather is spot on, it's not too hot, it's dry. Track will be fairly green though, because we've had a lot of rain during the week. So we'll see how we do. Mr. Johnson is here, so there's going to be a Rich T versus DDMM battle out there. But yeah, we'll see how we do. Briefing's at 9 in about 10 minutes time. We'll probably cut now. See on circuit action. Here we go then at Shenington, rolling out onto the circuit. New dummy grid at Shenington, very nice to see. Nice work there from the club. Now, here's something that I hadn't thought about before this session. This session not only was the first after lockdown for a lot of people, but for the first time this season. So there was a bit of a book more in February vibe where everyone was a little bit all over the place. Max O'Shaughnessy going past there. We knew he was going to be very, very quick across the course of the day. We'd obviously done a couple of test sessions at Wilton and Rye, so we're feeling at least back in tune with the cars. But yeah, these first few laps were slightly chaotic. You see someone who's had a little bit of a spin there through the chicane. They're just trying to find their way and get a little bit of space. Now I've got to talk about something. James Johnson, my good friend, co-commentator on some of BUKC this year. He'd done a track guide. This is not going to be a track guide, but he'd done a track guide and talked about how Shenington looked like a really easy circuit to learn. Well, this was lap 3, straight out there. Just watch the green and white helmet. Oh! What are you doing over there, James? Clearly, Shenington, not that easy a circuit to learn. Yeah, well, there you go. At this point, though, I've suddenly felt like a force coming on top of me. It's like, I can do this. I can scythe my way through all of these. This is amazing. What's going on here? I feel like I'm empowered. Oh, it's just Nicky behind me. Nicky just didn't encouraging me along. But of course, we can't look at this. This is illegal. We can't be watching Nicky and what he's doing. Do buy his track guides. As I say, this is not going to be a track guide. Just buy Nicky's track guide. I did for this one. It's the first ever time that I bought one of Nicky's track guides, and it really did make a difference. And this practice session really showed it for me. My confidence was really good here, just making a bit of space for myself as it was getting a little bit chaotic out there. But this next couple of laps, we've just given ourselves a little bit of space. Keep an eye on the the yellow and black helmeted driver, Alex Edwards. We're going to come up to him in a moment. One of the things I love about Shenington, as I say, I was feeling quite confident here, is that you can do a little bit of bump drafting, a little bit of working together. We're going to give the guy ahead in the same suit as me a little bit of a push.
there. I don't think he was quite expecting that, but you can push through, you can work together, and momentum is a huge thing around Shenington. And I'm going to talk about brakes. I loved the brakes in this car, really felt in at home with them. And people who know me and know my driving style will know I'm not the most confident overtaker, so the combination of this kart and having had a little bit of tuition from Nicky was really working well in this session. We get up behind Alex Edwards again. You can see him there in his suit, all talk racing, very experienced driver, one of the established members of the Endurance Championship. We identified him in this session. Alex is quick. Alex is in our class, but he's quick, so let's try and just stay with him and help him along, help ourselves as well, having a bit of that slipstream as we knew the qualifying was coming up. You can see we'd both backed off and we'd started to work our way towards the pack, so we had a good bit of speed. Go back to brakes. This next corner here I have not been able to do for any visit before, but look at this for ascent. That is completely unlike me. This car just tuned in with me. I mean, I'm not going to say where I was braking for at that spot that Nicky told me, but it made a huge difference. Oh, someone's been put in the shadow realm there. And again, just coming into this corner, this was really good, looking forward for the race. In fact, we sent ourselves too much here and actually get past Alex as well. Sorry Alex, that was that was a bit of a dive bomb there, but thankfully Alex gets back ahead of us. We let him go here. You can see the green light there, so we've started qualifying. 5 minutes of timed qualifying after I think it was 10 minutes of practice, so it was really frantic this session to try and find yourself in a good bit of space, but this worked out quite well. We're up behind Alex, we're in his slipstream, so we're going to work with that there, braking hard. Oh, Alex locks up a little bit there, but keeps momentum through the corner. And as I say, momentum is just huge around this Shenington circuit. So this was the first lap. We're just trying to get a banker lap in here, calm ourselves down, know that we get a good time in, and then we can start pushing and trying some different things out as the session goes along. Breaking into the far hairpin, bit of a concertina effect, slightly different lines between myself and Alex, but I was really pleased to get that first lap in. Often with qualifying, that is my weakness. However, saying that, the next couple of laps just didn't feel quite right, so I've backed off a little bit here, just trying to give myself a bit more space. Probably Dawes has a bit of a problem there. So this is the final lap of qualifying. I said, right, I just want to give myself a lot of space. I don't actually want to slipstream on this one because I don't want to be potentially bumping into somebody or them getting in my way as I'm giving it everything. So this is the qualifying lap that actually sets our position on the grid. And I'm going to shut up now and just let you enjoy it. So that lap was good enough to pop us in the midfield. I think it was about 4th in Class B. I should mention, we're running in Class B. German split into Class A and Class B. Falling back up on the grid here. But a decent qualifying puts us in 15th on the grid with a chance of getting a good result. But very wary that whenever you do start in the midfield, you can get a bit of a concertina effect. You've got people wanting to come forward, get on with their race. So I was very wary of that, especially given that this was the first race of the season. And again, that race rust that all of us have got at the moment could be a factor. So you see there's a couple of drivers around us that we know. Tim Hill, the silver helmet just ahead of us. Vince Cogswell as well, who's part of the Whisper team, who were competing with in intermediates last year. But here we go then, just trying to get a bit of last minute temperature in the brakes, watching the lights, rolling start of course always in Club 100, and away we go for 1 hour round Shenington. Starts always tricky, you don't know what's going to happen behind you more than anything when starting in midfield, but we get a nice little run here around the outside, get up behind Oliver Allward from Tankton Racing. Not quite sure what happened there, we just dropped off a little bit, but we saw a little of a gap down the side here. We thought, oh, we'll try this, but unfortunately we get pushed a little bit by the guy in the black helmet. Look at all those positions that we lose. We lose those positions to Tim. Tom Fuller comes past as well, so that wasn't so good. But then this was the key point in this first lap. Our friend who gave us a little shove at the hairpin, a bit of instant karma, he got pushed wide, but we had to take avoiding action. We were going to go over the big sausage curb that JV had told us do not touch. So I thought, safety more than anything, take that escape route. But that was really key, because what's happened now is the field is split and we're on the wrong side of it. You see the first 15 drivers or so, they're clear now. They're all as a big group. We've got a bit of a fight back to do now. We've gone down to 20th. We've got Shane O'Neill ahead of us. Michael Ballinger, very experienced driver, very quick driver around Shenington as well, just behind us. So yes, we've survived that first lap, but we're a little bit frustrated because of course we've lost touch with the pack. Now here's something in the first few laps of this race that we found out pretty quickly. I'm not going to blame Club 100 for this. I'm not sure what happened with the driver before, of course. He could have blazed the brakes, but this kart that I had, quick, but nowhere near as confidence inspiring on the brakes. And just saw that there as I was having a look at Shane. I feel if I'd had the kart that I had in qualifying, I would have gone straight down the inside of it there. So we're already in the back of our minds thinking, right, we've got to make sure that any moves that we do in this race are super, super clean. We've got up alongside, we've just rolled in there, got 19th position, starting to fight back. You can see the group ahead. That's what I'm focusing on. You've got to think, I've got to get back on that group there, that top 15 or so. Otherwise, the slipstream effect, we're going to have no slipstream, and it's going to be a really, really difficult first phase of this race. Get a good run off that corner past pit exit. Stuart Kirk, I'd hope he doesn't mind me saying this, I do have a bit of a weight advantage on him. We get up the inside, nice block pass there. We know Stuart can't come back on us there if we just stick our cart on the inside. Don't lock up, don't do anything silly at this stage of the race, and that's another position. Kyle Plumridge was next, makes a little bit of an error there into the last hairpin, and I'm already thinking at this point, right, bottom hairpin, Stratford hairpin is where we need to make this move. So nice and clean through the first couple of corners, through Cafe Corner, get that good drive as we come past the scrutineering bay, using that slipstream, loving the new camera as well. Look at the chain and sprocket and the detail on that spinning around. Carl knows I'm there. Again, we're just going to do a nice simple pass down the inside, no need to be throwing the kart around at this stage. Now the difficult part of the race comes. We're in clear air now, but we have no slipstream, and the slipstream power is huge around here. It's a bit similar to circuits such as Three Sisters in that regard, or Clay Pigeon a little bit as well. So we've got a lot of work to do now. End of lap 7, you can see the standings there. Max O'Shaughnessy's got the lead, Tarek Almu out in front as well. 2 Oliver's 3rd and 4th. Alex is up in 7th, so he's the leader of our class. And we're trying to chase down Matt and Ian there in our class, but we're already, look at that, we're about 4.5 seconds to 5 seconds behind that pack, and this typified this early part of the race. I think we do about 20 laps here with no slipstream at all, but at the same time thinking, well, there is definitely a pack behind me. Stuart, to his credit, stuck with me pretty much through the whole of this stint. So we're already, even though ahead of when the pit window is going to open, we're thinking, what do we need to do here in terms of strategy and getting clean air. Yellow flag out for someone who's not having such a good time. Unfortunately, I think that was Ali Bray, who had a trip to the gravel there. Oh, there's a dead Colin the Cone as well. Rip Colin and all of that. So that gets us up to 16th. And a bit of a hotbed for action down here, because here was another one. Not quite sure who that was, but that's definitely an F there for that driver. That gets us up to 15th place. So we are starting to creep our way up, just keeping our nose clean through the course of this race. Lap 17, pit window opens. So the job for us in this race, in terms of pit stops, was just a one simple come in for a bit of lubrication on the chain, keep that running strong, and then go back out again. It wasn't like a full fuel stop like we do in the endurance races. So straight away, similar to how we see in the main teams endurance races, people start pitting straight away and we start moving up the order. So that got us up to 12th place. Next lap coming round, we see another bunch of people come in, so that gets us up to 9th place. And even though I didn't have the slipstream at this stage, I was very conscious of the drivers behind, and that we knew, yeah, we're going to lose about 12 to 15 seconds pitting. We don't want to put ourselves in a big, massive gaggle of karts, and if we look at that, you know, like Tim took an early stop, he got himself in traffic. Darry took an early stop, he got himself in traffic. Jason as well. And we're very conscious that we didn't want to do that and start losing ourselves time in this early part of the race. Someone's gone off there through the chicane, very, very tricky corner. You could already see as well some people going a lap down. Max was pushing like hell at the front of this order. So we stayed out, as I say, for quite a long time. More people started to peel in. We're in P5, and finally, at this stage of the race, we got some help as Oliver Allwood and Alex, same driver from qualifying, come past. I knew they were there. I knew they were quicker. I knew they'd stopped as well. So it's like, right, we're just going to push these guys. Alex gives a little thumbs up there to say, thank you, mate. I'm not going to fight back on these drivers. Absolutely no point. This is the help that I've needed. And we saw this in the lap times. Beforehand we were doing like 52 9s, 53 zeros. Immediately, once we get up behind some drivers, and yeah, their braking points have been helping me as well, a bit of a reference, but having that slipstream, we started going regularly 3-4 tenths a lap quicker than these drivers, than what I was doing, not than these drivers, they started pulling away from me, but from what I was doing before, yeah, about 3 to 4 tenths a lap with that slipstream was the benefits. It really showed how that first lap instant affected the whole character of the course of this race. So I'm going to sit here behind Alex, just try and sit and keep in his slipstream. We've got about an 8-second gap, I think it was, to Tim behind, who'd already made his pit stop. And cutting it a little bit further ahead, lap 35. You can see Alex and Oliver still ahead. Now they're making a move at the moment. This is a really interesting move. That was on Matt Wildman, who we said earlier in the race is one of the drivers we were trying to catch. So he stayed out long as well. And if we look through the data here, Murray not leading the race, he hadn't missed yet. Max Assurance, he pretty much had the race won. So we've got the gap down to less than 2 seconds. Still with a lot of the race to go. So we're feeling quite good at this point. We just needed to keep doing what we're doing, keeping our nose clean, keeping the momentum up, and we were still in with a shot of a good race here. And you can see those drivers. See, Ian's already pitted. He's down in 16th at the moment. We didn't know that at the time. And that was kind of the area of the field that we were looking at potentially coming out ahead of us. Now we're still running in clean air. They're in traffic, having made that pit stop. I think track position is going to be a really key thing in this format. Lap 41. Still as we were, Oliver and Alex are now well clear, and this was a key bit of decision making. Now keep an eye on the driver in the black suit and white helmet ahead. Matt's been held up by him for a lap or so, and he elects to go into the pits. Now of course we don't do that. That would be the wrong thing to do at that stage. Whenever you're in a battle with someone and there's a bit of pit strategy involved, you always try and do the opposite to what they're doing. But this is where I made a quite critical error in this race. Now we're up to 4th, but we should have pitted on this lap here, number 43, because we've now caught the back mark that Matt was having trouble getting past. You can see Matt's there in 13th place, and we've got about 13-14 second gap on him. This guy wasn't slow, but he was just very, very difficult to overtake, and I was probably back into the 53 zeros, 53 1s, so we were losing 0.4, 0.5 of a second from what we were doing. And this was a little bit interesting. He turned in very slightly there, just as to go through the flat right-hander. Again, I should have used that as a pointer there to go, this guy ain't going to let us through, we should pit. We go for another lap. So lap 45 is where we make our pit stop. Talking of the brakes, you see here was locking up there. I really wasn't confident on these brakes. I couldn't get them to lock them back in throughout the whole race. And I thought it was going in the pit lane. It's the pit wall there. We make our pit stop. Now watch for the drivers. There goes Stephen Jennings in the red helmet. Jeff Lamb's going to come past us as well. JJ Aston as well. And crucially, Matt Wildman as well. So that bit of time that I lost behind the back marker, that's those 3 positions there. That's where I made the critical error. and didn't make the move, which was a bit of a shame. Now you're probably wondering, where's the rest of the race, Andrew? We're coming to the end of the video. You're going to see in about a second, boop, the camera died, unfortunately. So yeah, we lost the GoPro. We were running it at quite high settings, and it died there with about 20 minutes of the race to go. But to give the story of the rest of the race, here's the lap chart. You can see we are the kind of light lilac line that takes a massive dive in the middle of your screen. That's us making our pit stop, and we got then into a really enjoyable battle between Matt, who we'd already talked about, and Jason Kirk. Jason I think had some problems in pit quite early, gone into traffic, and we just proceeded to have a bit of a 20-minute ding-dong back and forth, where I think all of us at some point had the lead position for that battle for 12th place. In the end, we came 14th, just behind Matt. I think it was about a 0.3 second gap, and Jason just ahead of us. The frustrating bit for myself was, I know I keep banging on about it, but the brakes, because I wasn't able to really feel like I could lean on the brakes and get that bite from them like I did in qualifying. Trying to make those big moves, those big stopper moves, the block passes into the hairpins was really, really tricky. There were a couple of times I tried, and I just kind of just ran on, ran deep into the corner, and then they got me back on the undercut. But I'm not going to dwell too much on that. It was still a really, really good result. We got 3rd place in class, and I was really, really happy with that. The podium run in class continues from last year. And having gone into that race with no expectations, no idea where we were going to be in terms of pace, 14th place, more than in the top half of the runners. And we knew it had not been a perfect race as well. We knew it had the problem on lap 1. We knew we weren't quite as happy with that kart as we were with the one with qualifying. So the pace is there. The pace is looking good. And if I keep working on it and keep getting a bit of tuition across the course of the season, I think we could have a really good year. We're going to stick with the E60. I've just entered this one-off round as a kind of a precursor to go, how's this going to work? Can the body actually stand up to it? We're going to have a go at the full championship. We're not going to have any drop scores, unfortunately. As I'm recording this, I've already missed the clay round, which clashed with Formula Student. The lid round clashes with Le Mans as well. So unless Le Mans gets cancelled, we're going to miss that round as well. So fingers crossed, the next race that we're going to be doing is Buckmore Park in August. And fingers crossed we'll have the camera for that, and we'll change some of the settings so we can get the full race footage. You can watch the full race footages back. We're going to put that raw footage up of those 45 laps up for you if you want to have a watch. Just don't watch the 20 laps when I'm not overtaking anything and not catching anything because I had no slipstream. Anyway, we're going to end the video there. Thank you for watching. As I say, we got the podium, we got another trophy, we got another pot. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. We've not done this style before, but if you enjoyed it, do give us a subscribe. You can find us as well on Facebook at Motorsport Media. Tweet us at _MM, especially on live race days when we're commentating. Instagram as well at _MM. We put some pictures on there, if that's your kind of thing. And visit the website as well, www.mm.com. This has been the Motorsport Media YouTube channel. I hope you have a good day. Take care, and we'll see you very, very soon. Bye bye.